All right, guys, Mikey here from Electric Scooter Guy. And guys, I know I made a video before about my KAABO Wolf Warrior 11 Plus, but I figure we revisit it because you know what? I am just so impressed with this scooter. I really am. Even though I got screwed and I was only able to get this KAABO Wolf Warrior 11 Plus and not the KAABO Wolf King, and I said it in the other video just because of the fact that when I bought this, a month later, the KAABO Wolf King came out. Even if I had to pre-order it, I would have pre-ordered it and waited a couple of months. But you know what? This bike right here, I'm 140 pounds, and not for nothing, I think if I race somebody who was 200 pounds on a KAABO Wolf King, I think that I would probably tie it or be very close to beating it, just because I don't weigh much. You know what I mean? Let me tell you guys something. This bike gets up to 54 miles per hour in a straight line, okay? I got up to 54 miles an hour with the wind in my face because I'm 140 pounds. Now, this is a 50 to 52 mile an hour scooter, but when you're really light, you can really get this thing up to like 54, 55. I mean, it's pushing out 5,400 watts out of a 60 volt system. I don't have to tell you guys that because you guys are all probably already know that. But I mean, you know what? The only difference is between the KAABO Wolf King and the KAABO, Warrior 11 Plus is the brakes. These are 145 millimeter rotors, and the KAABO Wolf King has 160 millimeter rotors. And I bet that does make a difference, though, because I think the rotors are thicker as well, and that definitely does make a difference. It definitely does. And I just feel that the Zoom brakes, they kind of suck. The nut brakes, after I got the nut brakes on my Dualtron Ultra 2, I said to myself, I said, man, I can't go back to the Zoom brakes. Even though obviously I got to go back to the Zoom brakes because my KAABO and my other scooter have, Zoom brakes, but they just kick in too late. They kick in way too late, especially the front brake. The front brake kicks in even later. So I got this thing up to setting 3 and setting 4, for the regenerative braking. Usually people put it in 2, maybe 3 at the most, but I put it in 3 or 4 just because, like I said, I feel like these brakes kick in late. But yet on my Dualtron Ultra 2, I put the regenerative brakes up to 2, maybe 3, maybe. But you guys got to be careful because you know what? If you have a full battery and you're using the regenerative braking, the EBS and shit, it can actually blow the regenerative braking out, meaning the regenerative braking won't work anymore. And if you guys don't know what regenerative braking is, it's when you hit the brakes and the EBS kicks in, and then from there it actually recharges the battery. But anyways, guys, I mean, listen, I could have got the KAABO Wolf King for the same exact price. Well, I paid $2,800 for this, and it was $3,000 for the King at the time, but now I seen the King on, I think, Voro Motors for $2,800, so it's the same price as this. So now imagine my 140-pound frame on a KAABO Wolf King. Could you imagine how fast it would be with me on a KAABO Wolf King? But you know what, guys? I was going to get the KAABO Wolf King before the Dualtron Ultra 2, but I said to myself, you know what? It's the same bike. Even though it's got different motors and controllers and shit, it's the same bike, just in gold. You know what I mean? So I went with the Dualtron Ultra 2 and spent, another $1,200, but it was worth it because I went from a 60 volt jump to a 72 volt jump, and that Dualtron Ultra 2 is definitely faster than the KAABO Wolf King. But the KAABO Wolf King does top out at a pretty high speed. And as you guys can see, man, you always have to have the gear to match. I got like 4 different colored helmets, 3 or 4 different backpacks. I mean, I got about 7 different pairs of gloves, so I'm all ready to go. I got 4 electric scooters though, guys. You know what I mean? So you gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared. But otherwise though, man, I've put about 950 miles on this scooter, and I couldn't be happier. I haven't had any problems. I mean, I just had to lube this up. I had a WD-40 this right here, the mechanism, and WD-40 a little bit in here and a little bit down here, and the little bit of creaking noise went right away. This bike rides smooth. I broke in the suspension finally because, like I said, I'm only 140 pounds, so basically, it takes a while for me to break in the suspension whenever I get on an electric scooter. Well, a good electric scooter. Because my Dualtron Ultra 2, I put about 200 miles on it, and that suspension is still the exact same way as when I first got it. But this bike, the suspension's starting to break in. The back broke in within 150, 200 miles because the back, as you guys can see, has the two springs in the back with the cartridge in the middle. And guys, if you have a KAABO Wolf Warrior, always make sure that the springs are clean, the cartridge in the middle is clean, and always make sure that it's WD-40'd up or lubed up. Because you know what ends up happening? The cartridges, they build up dirt, and then the dirt hardens on the cartridge, and then the cartridge gets very hard and it doesn't want to damper, and it ends up getting like stuck in there. It's just not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. So keep the springs and the cartridges clean and WD-40'd up. Keep this nice and WD-40'd up here too. And you shouldn't have any problems, because when I go over bumps, I don't hear no jingling, no cracking, no creaking. It's just smooth as hell. But I do like the suspension on the Dualtron Ultra 2 just a little bit better. I'm not too big of a fan of these the motorcycle suspension, because it's straight up. The Dualtron goes like this when you go over bumps. This is straight up, so when you hit a bump head on, it like bangs a little bit sometimes. But because I broke in the suspension, it got a lot better. It dampers a lot more. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the review on my KAABO Wolf Warrior 11 Plus, and I'm waiting on my GoPro. They sent me a GoPro 8, and it was the wrong one. I wanted the GoPro 9, but they sent me the GoPro 8, so I had to return it. I'm waiting for another one, and hopefully I could get started with doing some riding videos for you guys around New York, the New York City area, the Bronx, Manhattan. So stay tuned, guys. Mikey from Electric Scooter Guy. Peace out.